Hey everyone, it's Brett Hornby here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Well, this is video 4 of 4 when it comes to my NHL jersey rankings. Definitely ranked a lot of jerseys recently, but this was one of my winter break projects. So we're at the end of my rankings. So now these are, when I mentioned, the alternate jerseys for the 2020-21 season. Well, if you see up here, I have my other ranking videos where I've already done the home jerseys, the away jerseys, and most recently the reverse retro jerseys. Well, now it's the alternate jerseys, and I actually have 32 jerseys that I've come up with, and there are some teams that it's hard to say what is they're going to be still wearing their alternates this season or not. There was also some jerseys I added in this list were from the Winter Classic and Stadium Series recently, because those teams wore those jerseys at least more than once after that event. So that's why I have 32 jerseys. Actually, when I went to the puck marks, I came up with 33 graphics. However, one of those jerseys was what the Calgary Flames wore at the 2019 Heritage Classic. Well, now that jersey is the away jersey for this upcoming season, so I'm not going to rank that twice. So as I say, if you want to follow along with this Calgary sports fan's journey, just make sure you hit like, subscribe. I mostly do Calgary sports on my YouTube channel, but this was a winter break project that I had planned for this year, and it's about to wrap up, believe it or not, and almost time to think about getting back to work. But that's why it's been a lot more jersey ranking videos recently. So let's bring up my notes and graphics, and keep in mind I said this list will have 32 jerseys instead of 31 because some teams actually have more than one. So here we go. Well, number 32, I'm not meaning to rat on this team because it's my provincial rival. I have the Edmonton Oilers dark blue and orange. I don't really like the look of this jersey. It just looks very plain and basic, but everything just looks very droopy, and this looks like something that the team should only wear on October 31st because it looks very scary. There's just something with it that just bothers me, that it just looks very stripped down and basic. And if you looked at my other jersey ranking videos, teams that have done that, it kind of gives that same effect that I don't really like it that much, where it's really, really stripped down. But that's the impression that I get with the Edmonton Oilers alternate jersey. I mean, I know that orange is one of their colors, but this seems like a new dark blue that I don't really care for. I know some other fans like it, but me, and it's not because I'm a Calgary Flames fan. I don't care for this one too much, but that's what I have at number 32 to start off my NHL alternate jersey ranking list. Well, number 31, I give this to the New York Islanders, and I don't know what it is with the New York Islanders. They have a classic, clean look, but when they do an alternate jersey, it's always done badly. And I don't really like the look of this one. I mean, it's basically the NY, that's it. And it's just how the colors work. I mean, I think the blue is too dark, and then the orange, and then, in those 4 stripes means the 4 Stanley Cups. But believe it or not, for the New York Islanders, this is actually an improvement from other than the fisherman jersey that with the waves that makes it look bad. This is better than that black one that they had that said Islanders. But I think when the New York Islanders always seem to have an alternate jersey or something else, it doesn't look good. So this is what I have at number 31. I call this one the New York Islanders NY logo. I just didn't like how this one looked. Well, number 30, what were the LA Kings thinking for the Stadium Series jersey, and this was originally debuted in the Stadium Series, but the Los Angeles Kings actually wore this for a few more games, so I'm not too sure if this is going to be a jersey they'll still keep coming, but it looks weird how it's all embroidered in. It's just black and white. I mean, very little silver, but it looks like LA. I mean, it looks like it's on a roller coaster going down a sloping ski hill or something. I mean, it looks too slanted, just the LA. I mean, it's okay what the Kings wear with that shield in LA, but ultimately the Los Angeles Kings' best look is that Chrysler Gretzky era logo. But when I first looked at that, I was like, well, what they're thinking? The LA, it's either, on a downhill ski or it's sloping on something, but I don't know, it looks very wintry too. And that's not something you associate with Los Angeles and Southern California, but that's why I have it number 30. Well, number 29, well, this is the gold Penguins jersey that originally did start off as a Stadium Series, but I have seen them wearing a lot more. And the reason why I have this one down here is that the gold is definitely too overpowering. I believe they still keep the triangle in this logo, but you could barely make it up because the base color is all that gold, and this kind of has that same Nashville Predators effect, but at least there's some black to break it up. And I know that I'm not too sure how I like how it looks, where it almost looks like, this could be a football jersey too, where they have the numbers on the shoulders, but I know a lot of teams, when they do a Stadium Series jersey, I guess I'm not too sure if it really makes that much of a difference, but when you're either in a baseball or a football stadium, that they make the numbers oversized, and I'm not too sure if I really like that look. I mean, even just, they think, oh, you're so far away you can't make it out, but I don't know, it's just, this one, it's just the gold is too overpowering. I mean, these are the Pittsburgh colors, but Pittsburgh has worn some better jerseys that they've worn at outdoor games that kind of throwbacks to the past. And I like the, like I say, the black and gold is the colors of Pittsburgh for being Steel Town. I do like it when they had some blue in some of their jerseys, but that's what I have at number 29. Well, number 28, well, this is that new rumored jersey that the Vegas Golden Knights has been teasing out, that this is their third jersey, that basically it's their gold version of what they wear right now. And me overall, I'm still warming up to the look that the Vegas Golden Knights has worn, and although for gold, it doesn't look too overpowering, but I'm very indifferent on this one. I guess you could say the logo stands out a little more with the gold background. It's not too overpowering, but I'm just not quite sure how this looks. And even with some of these jerseys, I think this is going to be something that I'll do, every year, every season, because your feeling on jerseys change over time, especially, that's how fashion works, and as well how these will look in action. But this is my first impression of the Vegas Golden Knights gold jersey. I'm still warming up to the look for the Vegas Golden Knights, but that's what I have at number 28 when it comes to my alternate jersey ranking. Well, number 27, well, when the Los Angeles Kings at the Stadium Series this past season say, we want a hideous jersey, well, let's make one too. And this one, I call this one the Mountain Stadium jersey, and this is yet another embroidered jersey that the A looks too much. This almost looks like too much like wearing a superhero cape, but badly. I get it mixes in the color as well, but just like that Los Angeles Kings Stadium jersey, you gotta think of what were they thinking? You got the A, and then you got kind of a, silly looking mountains, but the A just looks too overpowering at the front, like a badly superhero cape jersey. So that's all I could say for this one for the Colorado Avalanche for number 27. Some of these Stadium Series jerseys, you know, when they try to just make up something on the fly, I don't know. I can't believe that this is something that someone would charge, you know, $200 for to buy, to actually wear. But, I mean, I don't have any strong emotions to the team, but that's what I have at 27. Well, number 26, I give this to the Tampa Bay Lightning black jersey. I mean, basically it's the same principle that not too big fan of the Tampa Bay Lightning's current look right now, where they've stripped down the Lightning logo and that, but this is like stripped down even more. It's basically just a black and lighter black jersey. I just don't quite liking how this one looks as well. I mean, it's just, once again, it's the logo and everything just stripped down, but this could almost look like just basically a practice jersey that you'd, you know, when you have the, you know, someone can wear a white version of this, and then you have the other group can wear the black version of this. That's all that looks like to me, and once again, it just seems like that's not something that you'd want to spend like full price for to add to the jersey collection. And overall, I mean, it's the whole current look of the Tampa Bay Lightning that still have it pretty down this far on the list. I mean, if you look at my home and away jerseys, you can see what I mean there. And then if you look at the reverse retro, I definitely have a different feeling when it comes to look on the Tampa Bay Lightning. But this is just basically the black version of that. We're home and away, so that's what I have at 26. Well, how about another black jersey that this one looks a little overpowering, that the Dallas Stars are apparently going to start wearing this for this upcoming season, is the black neon. And I mean, I'm not too sure how it would look on the ice, but this is another one of those jerseys that you first look and it's like, damn, that's overpowering. It's kind of like that same effect with the Edmonton Oilers, except the black and neon green. Looks a little better, but once again, this is very, very stripped down. I mean, Dallas has an okay look now that they wear. I do miss the look that they wore when they first moved from Minnesota, and the look that they wore in 1999 that they won the Stanley Cup with. I mean, this pretty much, you know, has the state of Texas and their current logo approximately where Dallas would be in Texas. But, I mean, this could be something that might need to see more on the ice. But first impressions, once again, this looks like another eyesore of a jersey, just how it looks when you just get worried that are all teams going to start having a black neon series. And not too sure if this is going to be something that I want to see in all 31 teams and make a... That's going to be a tough ranking video if I had to do one for all 31 or 32 teams once the CL Crack comes in, if everyone has a neon black jersey. But I don't know, I'm still a little different on this when it comes to the Dallas Stars. Well, number 24, well, I got the Anaheim Ducks, and I think the orange is a little too overpowering, but at least they got the right logo, which gets you to say, what's stopping the Anaheim Ducks from finally just doing the right thing and going back to their original jerseys full time? And I mean, this is a little better than what they currently wear right now. Let's again go back to the all three videos that I wear, and one tidbit that I can share that in my reverse retro jersey, that jersey that the Anaheim Ducks brought back actually made me laugh because it was so hideous. But if I'm saying this is the best look for the Anaheim Ducks and it's their alternate jersey, and even then the orange is too much, that's still saying a lot that I'm not a big fan of the Anaheim Ducks look. I mean, I do prefer what they originally wore, and even then, I mean, when I was younger, I liked the Ducks a little more. When I had the Dizzy vibe, I mean, now the Flames haven't had much playoff success with the Anaheim Ducks, but I do have a relic to show since I'm talking Anaheim. I actually got a mug. I got the mug of the logo right here. So as you can see, I have some Anaheim Ducks, Mighty Ducks. And this, I'm not too sure how I got this. I think someone, when they went to Disneyland and asked if I wanted something, I said, hey, why don't you give me something with my Anaheim Ducks as a hockey fan when they were still a new team, and this is the best look. And, you know, cleverly how they put in the handle, but this is what I have. I remember that came from Disneyland, and then when I was in Disneyland back in 1999, that was when the California resort was being constructed. I remember a few times on the park I had the thing called a Mighty Duck Puck, and basically it was just a, you know, an ice cream sandwich. It was just vanilla ice cream with 2 cookies. I remember, I think at that time, this was back in 1999, and I think it was $3 US, I remember. And keep at that time, the Canadian dollar was like 62 cents US, but I remember having that, so I did enjoy some Anaheim Mighty Ducks when I was younger, but I'm going to say it's just now that the Flames haven't had any much playoff success where I have the Anaheim Ducks much lower, but I only have Anaheim at 24, and this is the highest rank that I've had an Anaheim jersey on my list. But at least I'm not laughing. I keep going with that Anaheim, so that's what I have at 24. Well, number 23, well, this is actually the first of 3 Winnipeg Jets jerseys I have on this list. Because the Winnipeg Jets, they definitely have had a lot of alternate jerseys over the year. Not too sure if they still wear them all, but it seems like that they wear them throughout the year, and it's going to be interesting to see how it's going to work with a 56-game schedule and having reverse retros that everybody has. But I put the 23, this word mark, the blue word mark. I mean, the blue looks alright, but it's just that word mark that I'm just not a huge total fan of it. I mean, this is definitely a unique look that the Jets have had, both the original and the current Jets. I just think it would probably look a little better if they had their, you know, primary logo on the front and maybe that Jets word mark on the shoulder. But that's what I have for the Winnipeg Jets set number 23. I think overall Winnipeg has had a great look of jerseys for the most part. You know, both vintage with the original and as well as the current one. But I'm indifferent about this one as well, so that's what I have at number 23. Well, number 22, this one seems to be a polarizing jersey for the Carolina Hurricanes. They call this one the Black Storm jersey, and I'm not a big fan of this being a primary logo with the sick and the 2 warning flags. I think this looks alright in black, but this one is the logo, which is where I bring it down. I think they have barely, you can see, you know, the primary logo on the shoulders, but I know that the current white jersey, when it says Canes on the front, I think that is the shoulder logo, but I think this doesn't work as a primary logo on a jersey. I know there's fans that like it, but me, I'm indifferent about it just because of that. If they had the primary logo on this with this concept, I would have it up higher on my alternate list, but that's what I have at number 22. Carolina has had an alright look for the most part. Other franchise history, but I just like the primary logo a lot more, you know, the puck that looks like a hurricane, but I'm indifferent about this one as well, but I know Canes fans say differently, and some think that they want this to be a primary logo. I think it's better as a secondary logo, so that's what I have at 22. Well, number 21, I have the Los Angeles Kings. Call this one the gray jersey, which is pretty much in between their away white and their home black home. But once again, this is just overall blended that I'm just okay with the Los Angeles Kings look. I mean, that logo, I mean, it has the crown and the LA, but I'm just still, excuse me, the blessed look for the Los Angeles Kings, as I say in my other previous ranking videos, has been the black and gold, what they wore during the Wayne Gretzky era, and then now that the Los Angeles Kings have the reverse retro where they have that, you know, Gretzky era style, but with the original colors with the purple and gold. I mean, this one, some of these jerseys I think on the alternate list might actually fade off now that there's reverse retros on the scene, but this kind of like with the whole current look of the Los Angeles Kings, I'm indifferent on it. This one's definitely way better than that Stadiums jersey where that LA looks like it was either downhill skiing or sloping on something. But I think the Los Angeles Kings, that logo is still going to stay for a while because now that they won 2 Stanley Cups with it. But that's what I have at number 21 for my Ultimate jerseys. Well, number 20, to show I'm not totally biased, I have the Calgary Flames jersey that I'm wearing right now. Now that the Calgary Flames have gone full retro, where they brought back their original red and white, and now that they have Blasty as a reverse retro, I have a feeling that Blasty is going to eventually be the alternate jersey. I mean, this is not a bad look for the Calgary Flames. I mean, they've had the black flame and sea since the 2003-04 season at home. I still rather like the red and gold, which is the colors that I grew up with. But once again, with the the Adidas and the Reebok with that piping up the middle, this is not the best red with the black flame sea jersey. I personally like the 2003-04 jerseys a lot more. A, it looked better. Two, and secondly, Calgary Flames went to the Stanley Cup Finals with that look. But I think this look is going to slowly fade off in the sunset now that the original and retro jerseys are the full jerseys and Blasty's back. But that's where I have at number 20 is the Calgary Flames Black Flame Sea alternate jersey now. Well, number 19, I give this one to the New Jersey Devils, and basically it's a throwback to their original look when they first moved from Colorado, where they had green as their secondary color. And as I mentioned in my previous ranking videos, I think New Jersey's best look is the red and black. But there is a community out there that likes the green, and if you go back to the reverse retro, well, I hope they're happy with the green as a primary color. But this one's kind of like alright in the middle, because we're approaching about that in the middle pack when it comes to my alternate jerseys. But this is what I have for New Jersey at number 19, the one with this basically with the white jersey with the green trim. Number 18, here's the second of 3 Winnipeg Jets jerseys that I have on my ranking for the alternate jerseys, as this was worn beyond the Heritage Classic. I mean, this particular graphic has the Heritage Classic logo that the Winnipeg Jets wore against the Calgary Flames in 2019 in Regina. I mean, this originally throws back to the WHA, what the Winnipeg Jets wore then, and it's a nice look, but I think overall the blue looks overpowering, but this is exactly what they wore, and it does a great job at recreating it. But there's definitely a lot more beautiful jerseys out there that not only the Winnipeg Jets have worn, but throughout the NHL. I mean, this is in the middle of the pack, and this is exactly what they recreated for the 1970s. But I mean, everything looks nice, but I think the blue looks a little too dark. But it's the right mix of the the red, the white, and the blue when it comes to the Winnipeg Jets. So that's what I have at number 18 for the, I call this one the dark blue WHA jersey for the Winnipeg Jets that they brought back for the Heritage Classic when they were the home team in 2019. Well, number 17, this is where it's going to get interesting as more teams play in Winter Classics and not in a traditional market that they don't have a vintage jersey to throw back to. And when Chicago is not at an outdoor game, I have number 17, the Nashville Predators. And I actually like this look that the Nashville Predators actually came up with. A look that I actually like by the Nashville Predators. Well, it's just the Nashville Predators, a lot of their jerseys, they have too much marigold, but this definitely looks like a nice way to what the Nashville Predators might have looked like if they played hockey in the 1950s or 1960s. And even then, the shoulder patch logo looks nice, like kind of looks very, very vintage. I mean, it's just how this is a case where I actually like the word mark a little more. Just I actually like what they came up with for just being a Winter Classic, where mostly teams do either throwback or just make something vintage up. But I think this is a pass for the Nashville Predators, and they did wear it at a few games, I understand, after the Winter Classic in 2020. So this is actually a look that I actually liked by the Nashville Predators, but they just like the marigold too much. That's why I have it lower on my other ranking videos. Well, number 16, the Buffalo Sabres are still planning on keeping their gold trim jerseys that they wore for the 50th anniversary season. And I know that once now that the Buffalo Sabres finally got it right, that they decided to go full retro and bring back the original logo with the original blue and the original gold. And that's why I like the Buffalo Sabres look a little more. I mean, this is a nice jersey that they wore for that season. And it's nice that they're still keeping it around, but ultimately it's that darker blue that brings it down just a little for me. When it comes to the Buffalo Sabres, I mean, this is definitely a classic timeless look. Especially all the looks that the Buffalo Sabres have worn over the years and changed some colors in the look, but this is a solid middle-of-the-road jersey in my mind when it comes to alternate jerseys. And once again, I say when teams have a home and away, now reverse retro and an alternate, you got to wonder how they're going to rotate that through, especially this upcoming season with only 56 games. But Buffalo's gold trim jersey is what I have at number 16. Well, number 15, well, going back to that 2020 Winter Classic on a team that I'm going to say kind of makes up something that looks very vintage, is the Dallas Stars. And I think this one actually really works for the look that the Dallas Stars have. It, I mean, everything works together, how the shoulders, the sleeves, and just how they have the D and the stars. This one actually works for me as well. I think both Nashville and Dallas at that Winter Classic, they did very well for kind of making up a jersey that looks very vintage, even though they don't have that history to back it up. And everything just looks balanced and just right when it comes to my mind. But it's still in the middle of the list because we're looking at more beautiful jerseys in my mind as we continue up in my alternate ranking list. But it's a nice middle of the pack jersey that I like for the Dallas Stars, and this could be something that they can always bring out once in a while. I'm not too sure if they do, but I think they also did wear it in a few games after the Winter Classic. So that's what I have at number 15. Number 14, well, this is the first of two Vancouver Canucks jerseys that I have on this list. And Vancouver, I have at number 14. I guess some could call this one the modern stick and rink logo. I know that the stick is slanted a little more, which I made fun of this jersey or the logo sometimes where I said it looks like it was designed by a 5-year-old, but it's actually supposed to represent a C, even though it's a very, very wide C with a very thin opening where the hockey stick is. But I mean, I'm not too sure what look I want the Vancouver Canucks to go with all the time. I think the look that they have right now is the best look, and the evergreen and blue are the best colors. But I mean, this is a nice throwback to modernize the original stick and rink logo, and it says a lot when I have it starting to go up on the second half, the top half of my alternate jersey list. So that's what I have at number 14, the Vancouver Canucks stick and rink logo, or at least the modern stick and rink logo with the blue and the green. So this is a nice look. The Vancouver Canucks do bring it once in a while, and I understand that there is a group of Vancouver Canuck fans, despite not too sure what the exact identity you give with the Vancouver Canucks, because they really rebranded where they've had the stick and rink, and then they have the skate logo, but they had the flying V, and then the black and gold and red, and then they went to the Orca, and then eventually went to these colors. But there is a lot of Vancouver Canuck fans, I understand, saying they actually would like to see this look around full time. So I have this number 14 as an alternate jersey in my list. Well, number 13, I give this one to the Chicago Blackhawks, and it's basically their black vintage jersey, and I mean, it looks like a nice recreation. Not too sure if they have actually worn this full time sometime in their history. I'm not too sure if this was something throwing back to the 1920s, but this, I would say the Chicago Blackhawks, I mean, they're also kind of running out of ideas on what jerseys that they can throw back to or recreate, just because I say it must be the law. If an NHL has an outdoor game that the Chicago Blackhawks need to play, I know that helps the ratings, and I would say when it comes to the original 6 teams that Chicago has the best look. I mean, this is alright for just kind of a shadow black jersey, but it's a pass, and it's on the second half of my alternate list on the top half, but that's what I have at number 13, the Chicago Blackhawks vintage black jersey. I mean, it also would look nice if they did this in white as well, but it all works. I mean, even the the head logo in the middle, it seems to work just with the black and white in this case. So this is the dark mode. Maybe they'll make a white mode for Chicago Blackhawks at another game or some other occasion that the Chicago Blackhawks will never be in. Well, number 12, this is the last of the Winnipeg Jets jerseys that I have in my ranking list. Well, number 12, just going to call this one the Winnipeg Jets vintage jersey, what they wore basically at that time at home in the 1980s. And they did wear this, I understand, at the 2018 Heritage Classic, but they wear this, a lot more. That I think it's part of the rotation, and Winnipeg definitely has a lot more jerseys, but I like this look overall. I mean, it fits, and it's a nice way to throw back and recreate the original Winnipeg Jets, especially now with the new generation of Winnipeg Jets, knowing that this is from the original franchise that is now the Arizona Coyotes. But it's nice to see the Winnipeg Jets kind of bring back the vintage look. I'm not too sure how often they bring it back. You got to wonder, could the Winnipeg Jets maybe eventually go back to that? But I kind of think it's nice to leave it this as the original identity, because the current identity that the Winnipeg Jets have right now, I say, is pretty good. So that's what I have at number 12, basically the Winnipeg Jets vintage look from the 1980s. Well, number 11, I got to give this one to the Washington Capitals, where they pretty much modernized their original look. And I mean, it looks nice right now, I'd say. I think this look actually looks a little better than what the Washington Capitals wear right now. I mean, I think it's just how it all comprises together. It doesn't have any of that crazy striping that Reebok and Adidas does, but basically it's a modernized version of what the Washington Capitals wore when they first came into the league in the early 1970s. I actually wouldn't mind if the Washington Capitals maybe went to this full time, go back to it as well. I think Alexander Ovechkin even likes this jersey. And I know there's also the Screaming Eagle that comes back with the first retro series, and you can look at that video as well and see where I have the Washington Capitals ranked on that list. But this is number 11 as we get just outside the top 10 when it comes to my NHL alternate jersey ranking. So let's enter into the top 10, shall we? Well, number 10, I guess I have to put in the Vancouver Canucks skate logo jersey that there's many fans there nostalgia for. I know this was the look that I grew up with when the Calgary Flames battled with the Vancouver Canucks. Well, eventually when they got it right, where they didn't wear the gold version of that at home and got rid of all those extra V's. I mean, this was the logo that was first associated with the Flying V, but this was the cleanest look that the Vancouver Canucks wore with this style of jersey with the skate logo, and it looks nice to bring it back once in a while. But I think now this jersey belongs as a vintage throwback or as an alternate, because I'm not too sure if this could work today if the Vancouver Canucks decide to rebrand and go to this full time now with the Orca and the evergreen and blue colors. But this is always that nice nostalgia throwback for the Vancouver Canucks, and even then that logo looks a little complicated. It took some time for me to figure out, like, oh yeah, I guess it does say Canucks and Escape, but when you're young and you're not as aware of everything yet. But this is what I have started off at the top 10, is the Vancouver Canucks skate logo. So it's a top 10 look in my mind for a nice throwback, but not too sure if Vancouver would want to go back to this full time now. Well, number 9, another jersey that a lot of Columbus fans like is the Canadian jersey, and this definitely looks like a nice vintage jersey that kind of goes back to the Civil War. I mean, I actually like this one for something to throw out once in a while. I mean, I think the Columbus Blue Jackets look, I mean, I like the mix of the red, white, and blue, and this one actually looks nice for a vintage throwback that I might almost think that, if Columbus Blue Jackets wanted to rebrand, I think this could work overall. I mean, it's a nice simple logo. It just is Columbus Blue Jackets. It kind of throws back to the Civil War, and I know part of the experience of being at a Columbus Blue Jackets game is the cannon that goes off when they score a goal. But I mean, this is where I say hockey has worked in the capital of Ohio in the city of Columbus, so that's what I have at number 9, the cannon jersey. Well, number 8, I give this one to the Colorado Avalanche. I guess this is the 3rd jersey that I have on this list for the Colorado Avalanche. Well, this one definitely looks nice overall. This kind of combines their current look with their current colors as well as the vintage look. When you look at the logo, it almost looks like a modernized what a Colorado Rockies jersey would look like, but cleaned up, and it has a nice touch with the skated Colorado on the shoulder. But this kind of shows that paying back with the original Colorado Rockies franchise. Well, it wasn't run as well because it only lasted 6 seasons after it moved from Kansas City, and now that current Colorado Rockies franchise is the New Jersey Devils. But you gotta say I like this look for the Colorado Rockies. Just the mountain logo. It works overall, and as I say, it kind of matches in their current look and their Colorado Rockies jersey from the past as well. So that's what I have at number 8. Number 7, well, once again, it's Original 6 franchise, and this one actually seems to work. The Boston Bruins, just a big B. It drops out the spoke B, and this definitely looks like a modernized vintage look. That this is something that I'm not too sure if actually you could say the Boston Bruins actually wore in the past. I mean, it doesn't look too collegiate either, but I like this look when it comes to the Boston Bruins. It's just a nice clean look with the black and gold is what the Bruins colors are, but I seem to like this for a top 10 look. Just the B, Boston Bruins, double B, Boston Bruins. So that's what I have at number 7. Number 6, well, this actually works pretty well as well for the Philadelphia Flyers. Black with the orange, and then it's how they outline the Flying P logo. But the black and orange is definitely an iconic look for the Philadelphia Flyers for number 6 on my alternate list. And this kind of keeps up that image that the Philadelphia Flyers have had back in the day when they were the Broad Street Bullies. But I actually like this look for a black jersey for the Philadelphia Flyers, even though it's not overpowering. The orange breaks it up nicely, as well as the white for the logo. So it doesn't blend in too much. This is a nice look for the Philadelphia Flyers, especially if they want to pound on their opponents a lot more. So this is number 6, the Philadelphia Flyers black jersey. Well, staying on the same vein of a black jersey, well, here's the San Jose Sharks black jersey with their current look, and I just love the teal of the San Jose Sharks, and this breaks it up as well, and it's a badass look, just like the Philadelphia Flyers and the San Jose Sharks, as we're in the top 5 when it comes to my NHL alternate rankings. And I got to say, I like this look overall when it comes to the San Jose Shark. Everything's all balanced. This is kind of almost like a reverse retro in a way, but they clean it up a lot more. The teal definitely is a nice accent that isn't too overpowering. So I guess if some teams decide to do a neon jersey, it just depends on the colors that will work, and this will be one case that will work. So this is the beginning of the top 5 when it comes to my NHL alternate jersey. So what do I have beyond the ahead of the San Jose Sharks black jersey? Well, let's find out. Well, number 4, I actually got to give this one to the Toronto Maple Leafs, but in this case, this is the Toronto St. Pat's throwback. I mean, this definitely very, very well done, where it looks like a nice throwback, because actually the Toronto Maple Leafs started off as the Toronto St. Pat's, and this definitely is a nice throwback to that. You know, something you can wear also on St. Patrick's Day as well, but this is a nice fun jersey that the Toronto Maple Leafs can wear once in a while. I know once in a while they actually, in the past, they actually had a green version of it, but it still looks nice today, even though this jersey, the concept of it was almost over 80 years ago, but I actually like this look for the Toronto St. Pat's, or the Toronto Maple Leafs today, which pays back to the origins of the franchise. So that's what I have at number 4. Well, number 3, you gotta say it's a nice look for the vintage look for the St. Louis Blues. I absolutely love this look that the St. Louis Blues sometimes pull out from the 1970s, the blue and gold. It's a nice simple look, and I mean, St. Louis still today, I would say, it still kind of mixes in that look with what they wear now, but this one definitely looks like a nice throwback that the St. Louis Blues like to throw out from the 1970s. Everything just looks nice, clean look. I mean, before they did a few different variations in the 1980s and the 1990s, but what they wear now and what they wore then is a nice look for the St. Louis Blues overall. This is what I have at number 3 for the NHL alternate jersey ring. So what do I have at number 2 and number 1 when it comes to alternate jerseys? Well, number 2, I actually got to give this to the Kachina throwback when the franchise moved from Winnipeg to Phoenix. This was the original look that now the franchise is now known as the Arizona Coyotes, is that Kachina look. And I know when it first came in, I didn't like it as much, and I think that was the general case with most hockey fans, but as time goes on, I actually wouldn't mind if the Arizona Coyotes consider going back to this full time. And I know in the return to play plan playoffs that the Arizona Coyotes actually wore those jerseys all in the playoffs, and you almost got to wonder now that they have the reverse retro jersey with the Coyote head jersey logo. Do you think the Arizona Coyotes could potentially go back to this full time? I mean, the only thing that's different is on the moon it just says Coyotes, because it used to say Phoenix Coyotes, but the franchise rebranded as the Arizona Coyotes. But this is a case of when sometimes fashion, as time goes on, your look on jerseys look different. And I'm going to say this, I actually like this look a lot more than what the Arizona Coyotes have with the Howling Coyote. It's an alright look, but this definitely gives you that Southwest feel that as time goes on, it's like you realize how good the jerseys were back then. So that's why I have number 2. So what do I have at number 1 when it comes to NHL alternate jerseys? Yeah, absolutely got to put this at number 1. Is the Hartford Whalers green throwback jerseys. That is definitely the most beautiful jersey. When it comes to alternate jerseys, I mean, a couple years ago, the Carolina Hurricanes actually wore this out on a couple of games, and a couple home games. I mean, yeah, you can say, you know, Carolina's like, well, this is our own identity, but it's definitely nice that some of these franchises can all acknowledge the past and bring out what they wear. And, I mean, you have to say one of the best jerseys of all time is the Hartford Whalers. And this is that green jersey with a little bit of a blue trim, but yeah, it's a beauty, and I have to put it at number 1, right? I mean, where else can I put it on this list? And yeah, it's nice to see a little bit of the Hartford Whalers. Not too sure Hartford would ever come back in the NHL, but so yeah, that's my whole list of NHL alternate jersey ranking. This is my last NHL jersey ranking video for jerseys going into the 2020-21 season. So just like I always say on my previous videos, what's your favorite jerseys? What are your least favorites? What did I rank too high? What did I rank too low? Or what jerseys would you say of the alternates that you wouldn't mind seeing full time as a regular jersey? And, you know, I just added in a few more jerseys because I'm not too sure if some of these jerseys that we're wearing at more special events that we're wearing again at a regular game, that you're not too sure if that's counted as an ultra now, but that's my rank from 32 to 1. So what do you think of everything? So as I say, if you want to follow along this Calgary sports fan's journey, home of Flames, Hitmen, Roughnecks, and Stampeders, I mostly do talk Calgary sports on my YouTube channel, but this NHL ranking jerseys was a project that I thought I was going to thought of doing during my winter break. And you know, I made 4 videos. Well, the full videos, I make the express version for have a shorter video where I just have the rankings without my explanations. But I rated 125 jerseys in the past few days. But I also do have a variety of content as well with personal vlogs, attempt to comedy, and I also do share my experiences. Let's say I'm on the road or at a sport event. So if that all sounds like it'd be interesting to watch, to follow along this Calgary sports fan's journey, you know what you need to do. Just make sure you hit like, subscribe. I also have my other social media links down in the description below for other ways you can follow me. So yeah, it was quite fun to rank NHL jerseys, and this is the last of my jersey rankings for the upcoming 2020-21 season. I think this could be something that I might do every year, as you know, teams change their jerseys, and next season the Seattle Kraken is going to join the NHL, and you know, your feelings on jerseys would change over time. I know sometimes I make my initial list and look at it again before I record the video, and there might be teams that I move up and down, but it was a little easier to do the reverse retros and the alternate jerseys just because, you know, they're a lot more polarizing and your weighting is different knowing it's not a primary jersey. So I just want to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.